Francesca and Andrea from M7. What lovely names. Are you lost?
If you were to combine a missing princess, an evil scientist, two struggling best friends, and a world full of surprises, what would you get? That's right, it's Knights of Guinevere. The long-awaited animated series from Dana Terrace and Glitch Productions premiered the pilot episode, and people are hooked. It's easy to see why there are few adult animation series that take storytelling so seriously, or that put so much dedication and care into crafting compelling characters. If the team behind the series wanted to hit it out of the park with this project, then I think they're off to a great start. The first episode ended in a cliffhanger as Frankie and Andi reboot Guinevere's system. Still trespassing in the labs, the trio's not out of the woods yet. Today's video follows my predictions for the second episode, including the trouble they'll get into.
And now you make stuff that gives other people memories like that. I just think that's cool as D.
Number 1. Guinevere fully wakes. Obviously, the first thing I expect to happen is Guinevere regaining consciousness. It's what Frankie and Andi set out to accomplish in the first place, and it will give them a reason to continue risking their lives for Gwen. Once she's awake, she can tell them about Olivia Park and the abuse she endured, which will make returning her to Park Planet impossible. The two friends know she's their one shot at a better life, so it becomes a battle of survival against their morals. I'd like to believe that they wouldn't send the innocent princess, who seems sentient enough to me, back to the place she fought tooth and nail to escape from. Things will become increasingly complicated from there, especially if the trio starts viewing one another as friends.
You gotta get me into the labs. I need a repair halo for this.
Well, for what? Tell me what the hell is going on!
Number 2. Olivia strikes again. Sure, Olivia might be on her deathbed, but that doesn't mean she can't pull some strings and have an entire task force on Frankie and Andi's tails. We get a glimpse into her obsession with the Guinevere models throughout the episode, with the ones designed for Park Planet being her favorite test subject. Her experiments and upgrades seem to leave Guinevere in pieces. With each round of torture, she becomes more desperate to escape. Obviously, she finds it when she jumps from the top of the 1,000-foot tower into the park below. When Olivia hears that a couple of junk collectors found a washed-up Guinevere, she begs her animatronic assistants to track them down. She's bedridden and withered by age. It's obvious that she depends on her assistants to tend to her care, but none of this stops her from begging for a reunion with this Guinevere. Once she sounds the alarm and offers a large reward, it won't be long until someone catches the runaway android and brings her back to Olivia.
We've found traces of your princess. She made it to the surface this time.
Number 3. Sparky pushes for control. While Andi's off playing engineer for the amusement park, Frankie gets her hands dirty pulling scrap metals from the ocean floor. Her boss, Sparky, leaves something to be desired as he lounges off to the side and shouts commands from his resting place. We get the impression that Sparky and Frankie have known each other for a long time, since he can guess her every move, and she clearly respects him as an individual. Of course, that doesn't mean they share the same morals, because Sparky wants to see Guinevere go to the highest bidder. He ends up catching up with Frankie and Andi before they get into the labs, and he roughs them up for a bit for betraying him. Andi makes a deal with Sparky to turn Guinevere over to him after they're done fixing her. I don't think they're going to make good on their promise, which means stealing from Sparky for a second time. He and his crew will eventually come to collect their debt, and when they do, he'll want to remind Frankie who is in charge. It's like he said, he can't show favoritism or go easy on her, even if they do seem to have a mutual respect for one another. Even if he does respect what she's trying to do, it looks like control and authority mean everything when you live below Park Planet.
I don't recognize the model.
Oh, who gives a what model? This is gold!
Number 4. The princess fantasy becomes a problem. Throughout the episode, we see glimpses of the world through Frankie's eyes. She has a strong and lifelike imagination that seems to tie directly into the fantastical world in the clouds. When she gets lost in thought, she sees visions of animal-like creatures that talk to her, much like the angel and devil on her shoulder. They're so vivid that Frankie responds to them out loud, leading to a one-sided conversation that concerns those around her. So far, Frankie's visions don't appear malicious and appear more like a manifestation of her childlike imagination running wild. These visions may also be Frankie's subconscious way of dealing with stressful situations. When the armored security robot throws them and Frankie wakes up covered in blood, she views the Guinevere bot as the princess she met years prior. Despite Andi calling her name and the obvious danger heading her way, all Frankie could see or hear was Gwen and how kind she was. Again, these visions were nicer than her reality, but had she not snapped out of it, she might have gotten crushed by the security or put Andi's life in more danger. I suspect we'll learn more about these visions moving forward and just how dangerous they really are.
Hello, little ones. Are you lost?
Number 5. The security closes in. Obviously, the giant robot set on catching Frankie and Andi wasn't on their bingo card when they broke into the lab to repair Guinevere. Andi didn't know about the robot's existence, but someone had followed them for a while and likely sent it to annihilate the unwelcome intruders. He's pretty scary too, right? Sure, he might talk like an old knight that's centuries displaced, but he's big, fast, and dangerous. I'm sure he could have squished Frankie and Andi in a single blow had Guinevere not stepped in to save them. It makes sense that Olivia and her supporters would keep a robot like that locked downstairs, out of sight and out of mind. Scaring civilians would only start a panic, which is why they rely on simpler, less threatening-looking security on the surface. It would be cool if the topside security had an emergency protocol that transformed them into the monstrosity Guinevere cut down, but we'll have to wait until the second episode to find out more.
Goodly ladies, arrest thy steps. Thine hearts I wouldst make mine.
Number 6. Explanatory flashbacks. I don't know about you, but I desperately need a few flashback sequences to explain the lore dropped in the pilot episode. Knights of Guinevere is filled to the brim with information, and there are numerous moving parts that we need to keep track of throughout the episode. I want to know more about the creation of the Guinevere line and why Olivia experimented on our main Gwen. I also want to know more about our main characters, Frankie and Andi, and their circumstances growing up. Flashbacks would be perfect to throw some exposition our way. The pilot did a fantastic job getting us hooked. The 2D animation is nostalgic, the storyline's engaging, and almost everyone can relate to the main characters in some way. Most of us will tune in for the second episode, and now that they have our attention, they can really overload us with information. I, for one, will take every detail I can get, even if it means making predictions and examining the details for the rest of the season.
Chop her up? Ugh, what an...
Frankie, is Sparky chopping someone up?
Number 7. Park Planet's Dark Secret. Speaking of predictions, we all agree that Park Planet's an evil mega corporation, right? We didn't get to see much of the theme park or the people who call it home, but it's clear that they don't leave a good impression with the people who live in the surface world below. I'm willing to guess they look down on the surface dwellers and do little to help them have better lives. Ignorance is bliss, right? There's literally a scene of trash getting thrown over the side of the amusement park to fall into the water below, left for scavengers like Frankie to fish out. Yeah, Park Planet's definitely not the good guys in my book. If that wasn't enough, our first impression of Olivia is that she kept Guinevere against her will and ran torturous experiments on her for years. Olivia doesn't hold any punches, and it's obvious from the start that she's an antagonist. Any place that follows her has to be bad news. I'm sure Park Planet's hiding some truly sinister secrets, and it will be up to Frankie and Andi to unearth them all.
A world of possibility, where fantasies became reality.
I can't believe that Knights of Guinevere is finally here. Like everyone, I've waited for a long time to see this project in its entirety, and man, it didn't disappoint. The animation's beautiful, the story has me curious enough to come back for the next one, and the balance between horror and fantasy is perfect. There's so much to love about the series already, and I'll definitely be back to cover the next episode. What do you think about the pilot? Do you think Knights of Guinevere will hold up against the hype? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.
I can't show you special treatment, especially because you're you.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Prize hog for a night stroll?
Sparky, this looks bad, but
I'll deal with you in a second.